Hey everyone, welcome back to Daisy Sorcerer. So I'm just doing some nightly type stuff. Got the energy, that comes at 7 or whatever time every night. And I figured I'd knock something up, but I wanted to talk to you about what I think is going to come in between now and the end of the year. So I'm making this video on November 7th. And obviously, we know that the particular party are coming back for the Alice in Wonderland. So if you want Alice, get your Alice tunes ready. We know that and I think we probably have time to get another run of the Incredible. Look for that. Probably very close to the end of the year, I would say. Yeah. And then, but also in between those, we're gonna get we're gonna get the new Inferno, whatever that is, and I believe that it's gonna be a an Ascension mode or something similar, a raid that's not a raid, and it just it's hard to explain. We know it's going to be it's either going to be a new extension of the club expedition that we already have, or it's going to be a new part of the Ascension, because both are going to be how you're going to get your 10 pieces, and we're past the point in the year when they would have put out a raid. It usually happens in October when they put out the new raid. But since we're past that, I honestly thought, and I thought that last week, because we didn't get any notes from Meathead, or 2 weeks ago, that meant we were going to get the giant bomb dropped on us last week. But now, since it's been 2 weeks, and at this point, it will have almost been pretty close to 4 weeks since we got the news about the Inferno. So I think what that means is I think it's very likely that we're going to get something major this Wednesday. On top of that, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but there's a new Disney movie coming out. Let me just check the date here real quick. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, if you live here in the States. And it's called New World, and it happens to be, and so this Wednesday is going to be, the 9th, which is when I'm saying we're getting something big in terms of the Inferno. Don't be surprised if in 2 weeks, on the 23rd, we get new characters. Or a new challenge, because they've been taking out all of these seasonal events. They just ended the Big Hero 6 Legendary event, and yeah, I know they put in the Edna event, and I know they put in the particular party event. And honestly, I don't know. I've not invested too much into I just watched the trailer for this, trying to figure out what faction they would be. And we can go through it real quick. Kingdom, I doubt it. Mythicals, I don't know enough. I don't know if any of them have magic powers. Oceanic, I doubt it. Could be. Wilds would be interesting because it's strange. It's not necessarily a forest, but it's not necessarily something they know. So I'm thinking, could be Wilds, a backdoor entrance into Wilds. Because the Wilds that we have got this year, we got Winnie the Pooh, we got Pacha, we got the Dwarves, which are just no. So we've gotten a few, but we've not gotten any impactful, right? we've not gotten anybody impactful in the wilds. And also, there's this category. So they're going exploring. They're having an adventure. Do not be surprised if, when they end up putting these Strange World characters in the game, if they do, and I'm not saying, and I'm not for sure, I don't for sure know that they will, but I suspect that they will, because they did for Lightyear. We've not had anything since Lightyear. They did with Raya, but they missed the Encanto thing. But we already know they're working on Encanto down the road. But in the Miss Luca, which I really would have loved to have seen Luca, because I really enjoyed watching Luca. But this is a theater event, so this isn't so. You know, and theatrical releases tend to be on a different level. And so what I'm thinking Wild Explorers, just like Frank and Lily, because Frank, Lily, and Milo have really been in. You know, you're looking here at this particular account. This is Guy, by the way. Frank and Lily, you know, they're wild explorers. Milo is an oceanic explorer, and Lightyear is obviously in. What is he? Is he downtown? Yeah, he's downtown. Which, I mean, they could be downtown, but I think just because we have this huge this huge proliferation, this huge collection of downtown characters, I think they're trying to get away from that. And I think they're trying to build out the other factions, like Wilds, Oceanics, whatever. And I kind of knew that they were going to focus in on mythicals and wilds, just because they were the most underrepresented factions in this game. And so, even though we've gotten the doors this year, which boosted the wilds, and even though we get Pasha, and even though we get Winnie the Pooh, none of them have been really impactful. And so what I'm predicting is I'm predicting that we're going to get that Strange Worlds are going to be wilds, that they're going to be wild characters. I don't know how many there's going to be. There's going to be at least 2, just like they did with Lightyear, just like they've done with all these other characters. But I think, you know, you got what is it, Jasper, I think is the grandpa, because if you've not seen the trailer, they have a grandpa, they have 3 generations of kids, the grandpa, the dad, and the son. And from what I saw from the trailer, is it's really focused around the son, or the father in this case, the father and the grandfather. And then, you know, once they discovered the grandfather's like, hey, I have a grandson type thing. And so, for me, it makes sense that all 3 of those would be players. And I think if you're going to do 3, you're going to do an event. It might not be. It could be 3, but you know, you got at least 2 other characters in there, so it's probably gonna be at least 5. So it could be on the scope of something like, this is why they retired the Rescue Rangers, or they just did the last run of the Rescue Rangers event, and they moved Gadget and Dale onto farmable nodes because they knew this was coming. Because if you think about it, that's the way they do stuff. Because that Gadget and Dale are downtown, so that means you can farm them. That means you could already farm Monterey and Dale. So then you can do. I mean, you could already farm Monterey and Chip. And so now it just, but it's going to be very interesting to see. Are they going to put them in the game? Are they going to do it like they've done with all these other seasonal events where you can't, where the only time you can get fragments, like with Socks or with Mex Goof, is during the time when the thing comes around? Or are they going to put in another side campaign like they did with Alice? But if we just look at the side campaign, there is another convenient place for this. And we've seen a trend with the last two legendaries came out, because we went for a while without having legendary. We went from Maleficent to Snow White without having a legendary, and that was about 6 months. And then we went about another 6 months before we got it between Snow White and Alice. And Snow White, the dwarves had no effect on anything. It was only Snow White that had any effect on anything. The 6 months later, we get the particular party, which I've talked about with the Alice tunes, and I've even started showcasing how they work. We know that they're at least much better than the dwarves, to say the least. And we feel really good about where the Incredibles are now. Much better than we did previous to Edna coming out. And, the Alice Wonderland, they have Mad, which is sort of... you're able to control the Titans a little bit better. And then you've got the Incredibles, which just do their thing in the raid. And so Strange World, they're strange, they're wild, they're adventurers. So what does that bring in? Well, sorry to do this, but don't look. I mean, I don't think that the Strange World tunes will have a leadership similar to the way that the Ralph team does have a leadership. Why do I say that? Well, because if they end up being wild adventures, we have two leaderships. We have Frank, who, in case you forgot, let's go through his leadership. Adventurous teammates gain the following crit chance when dealing critical damage. You get evasion. All this fun stuff that you already know about. And he's just for adventurers. Now you come to, and that's just to get you in the door. Which, by the way, the Lily Energy event is on right now, and the Frank event is sure to follow far behind it. I don't think that's coincidental at all. So if you looking for them, get them now. Then there's this guy in Club Expedition, which is going to be key for the Inferno if you're paying attention. In Club Expeditions, all teammates gain offense 25%. Kita and adventurers gain an additional 10% offense. So, right there. Look for the adventurers to be a major component in the Inferno. So, we have the fact that the movie is coming out on the 23rd says that, hey, here's this new faction. So you have, so we all know that the holiday is going to come. I'm not sure that they're going to launch the event on the 23rd, but, and I don't think they'll do it on Thanksgiving. They might, but I don't think so. And they may not do it until the following Monday, because if they're not going to do it on Thanksgiving, they're not going to do it on Black Friday. They're not going to do it on Saturday and Sunday, because that's Thanksgiving weekend. It's just turkey and then all about football and shopping and everything. But there is the Black Friday component to it. So it does make me think, maybe they will start the event on the 23rd. But I don't know. Anyway, if you're thinking about it, if you're not into the Wonderland tunes, if you're not into to the Incredibles rework, I would ask A, why not? Because either one of those teams are incredible. But then Strange World, I'm telling you, I have no concrete evidence to go on. I don't know about the data mines or anything. All I know is what other games do. If you play Marvel Strike Force, you probably are getting ready for something with Wakanda Forever. If you play Star Wars, if you play Swoga, you probably are familiar with the stuff they did for Mando and for the Bad Batch and whatever else. DSA is headed that way in a hurry. So just get ready, because I think it's coming. So anyway, guys, I know this video has been a lot longer. I know I've probably been rambling more than you wanted. If you've made it to the end, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe to the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Till then, have a good day. We'll see you. Bye.